Welcome to Beauty Business Matters. I'm your host, Susan Routledge, and I feel hugely privileged to have Lara Morgan back with us again for a second episode of. The first one was absolutely awesome. We've looked at Lara's journey through her career from starting Pacific Direct to selling out for millions years ago, and her journey
many years ago
investing in amazing brands now and growing those brands.
How lucky am I?
Yeah, but Lara, I am so privileged to get to spend so much time with you and have you back again. Now what we want to touch on is something which is so passionate to you and me too, and should be to everyone, and that is the sort of wellness and mental aspect of us as human beings, really. I know this is something that you are hugely passionate about, and I have the privilege as well of stocking Scentred, which is one of the brands that you...
Yeah. A brand name I didn't even invent. It was invented by a bloke, which always amuses because you take the word Scentred, the deep breath, and you've got CENTE, right?
Yeah.
But actually you add an S because he came to me and said, I think I can make women lose weight using scent. And I said, I'm not interested. He said, why not? I said, because I had a friend who had anorexia at school. I said, I don't do stuff that's not positive, Rob.
Yeah.
And he said, well, do you want the brand name? I said, what? He said, you know a lot about fragrance. Why don't you do something positive? And what a gift. So actually, unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but his wife is a shareholder.
Right.
And I feel a responsibility to pay Rob back for gifting me what I think is a brilliant brand name.
It is. It's an awesome brand name.
And it was
an
a
awesome
passion
brand
project.
as well.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, it takes time to build a brand, even if you have a good brand name. And it's been an expensive journey, but well worth it because it's driven and the underpinning, which I didn't have when I sold bars of soap for a living. Let's be honest. You know, I was just trying to pay the school fees.
Yeah.
And put a roof over the family's head and sell stuff. I wasn't mature enough to know that business could be for purpose.
So again, was this synchronicity? Because obviously your passion, and we are going to go into a little bit more about why you're so passionate about well-being. And so Scentred, did the name come first, or were you wanting to build a brand and then Rob came along with the name? Or?
You know, funny, we talked a little bit about serendipity earlier this week, and I think lots of business is the luck of turning up, the luck of an unplanned meeting, a luck of an exchange. He actually stalked me at a business dinner, so it wasn't that unplanned that Rob knew that I'd come from the fragrance industry. I had a little bit of knowledge, wanted to find someone who would work with him to develop this brand. At that time, my husband and I were having some issues, not together, but with a family issue around mental health. And made no connection initially, but I had already been thinking, could I use scent to affect somebody's outlook and mindset? Knew nothing about mindset because I came from a military background where if my brother had done bottom lip quiver, he was toast, right? You know, we didn't show emotion that stupid old-fashioned way. Fortunately, we've come a long way, but I think maybe we've come too far in some cases where sometimes actually we do have to suck up that not every day is a happy day, not every day is a perfect day, and life isn't like that. It's a bloody roller coaster,
isn't
correct?
It, really?
And I think some parents need to, frankly, make their children get a job down the local pub and earn their own money as opposed to just handing it out. So my parenting skills are all that I have from a first try as a parent.
Yeah.
And I'm learning from example of others, right? And so I'm testing and trialing. But the Scentred idea that you could use a combined blend of fragrance to affect mindset was not strange to me because my mum had studied aromatherapy. But of course, like any child, you ignore what your parents do because you can't believe, you know, they're old and dodgy or or at least uninteresting. You think they are. But I remember, actually, I think it's a very telling story that my mum was under immense pressure as my dad was going bankrupt. And they didn't have any spare money. I mean, they were literally in arrears on rent and in arrears on living.
Yeah.
And she spoke English, and she taught English in Hong Kong, made a lot of money, but all of it went on the family.
Yeah.
She bought a lipstick one day, and then something went wrong. And I remember seeing her cry in the car, and she blamed herself for buying this lipstick that was what made her feel good. Right?
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
So you see your mother, and you can see the emotion.
Yeah. Totally.
And that, I don't even bloody wear lipstick. I mean, what am I talking about? But that experience, the power of knowing that one small product can affect someone's whole outlook, clearly hit me. You can see. And I can't make up that experience, because that then made me think, what is it that makes me feel good? When Rob came to me with Scentred, it was the ritual, for want of a better description, the routine of feeling clean and putting a fragrance on. And I'd come from the fragrance, making for Bulgari and Penhaligon's, one of the greatest, William Henry Penhaligon, who started in 1870 with Hammam Bouquet, was fragrancing hideous, sweaty saunas. The irony that Scentred has now launched a sauna balm next week. It just makes me die laughing. I mean, what do I think I'm doing? I'm not doing it, but this is also underpinned by, we were determined to make a hard balm that meant that you could have a pocket-sized, and in America you could call it a pocket rocket, but it means something quite different, I have learned, but it makes me laugh. But the point is that I want, in the end, a child to have in their pencil case an I can balm, an I will balm, I shall balm, not I shan't balm. A mindful uplift that's done naturally. And do I have the time to ask about blending aromatherapy fragrances? Do I? Hell. Did I think it would be easier than it was? Yes, I did. Did it take 4.5 years to get impactful premium quality blends into a hard natural balm? Painfully, yes. And I had no idea how hard it would be to create a great product alongside a great brand name that I'd been gifted. So, we were already on the back foot investing. And then, but there's always been the vision. And the vision of the brand is all the way back to my childhood, where I used to buy Wrigley's yellow packet chewing gum from the bus station.
Juicy fruit.
You can literally visualize it. That bright yellow.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, that was about 30 cents in Hong Kong, and my bus fare was 40 cents. So if I diddled the bus man, I had 30 cents to buy chewing gum at the next bus stop. And when I changed the bus, but this is the point, right? Fragrance is a habit enhancer. Your memory bank, your hypothalamus is linked to your limbic system. When we go into a spa and we select a fragrance, we are actually gravitating towards the support that we need. And Scentred has 6 lifestyle balms that give you uplift. And I've invented, with a most amazing team of people, highly affordable travel gift sets, because today lifestyle is on the move. Parents are dropping off children at school, they're racing to work, they're racing to a place, we are on the move. And the idea of a hard, pre-blended, natural balm that I can apply to my pulse points, not to my lips, is mindful. It is a mind balm. It is unique. And ultimately, I want them at the register, the till point, the checkout, the coffee shop, to replace not all carrot cake, because carrot cake is good, in proportion.
Alongside carrot cake.
Yes, correct. But, everything is fine in mediocrity, which is, again, how we should look at our diet. It's the way we should look at our lifestyles, which is you can't live I think it would be I don't know if the right word is pagan, but you can't live a miserable life. I mean, Jesus, I'm in menopause. Give me a glass of wine.
Like saying, I can't have that.
Right,
I can't
right.
have that.
And actually, you can have a little bit of everything in
moderation.
My mother would say and preach. And I laugh and I go back to her lipstick and I go, now I might be carrying my, look, it's been through the washing machine balm as my pocket rocket. It may only be knowing that it's there.
Yeah.
Not necessarily going stop, inhale, reset, which is also a mantra that I spent huge amounts of money. But actually, I used to think this was disgusting, this particular one which is love, because I wasn't in menopause.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think with everything with aromatherapy oils, and you're attracted to different,
Right.
with different
blends
that
and
you
needs. Right. And so, and I tell this story because I think it's a really powerful way of also communicating to all of humanity. This goes back not just 10 years, not decades, not centuries, but, thousands of years, that we would use, the press of a piece of a rosemary bush and put it near to our eyes to keep us awake in guarding a castle, or in, not that everybody has castles, but,
yeah.
The naturalness of using clary sage as an uplift, or mint as a freshener, and chamomile as a calmer. So, we have sets like this, but ultimately the bigger balm in the daily ritual is the key to everything, which is a good night's sleep. And, people will look at the purple and go lavender, and some people, I think lavender's pretty average, but a modern oriental lavender.
That's lovely.
Right, combined with other ingredients that give you that, it takes away the twitch, and for shift workers, or the point is that we all lead different lives. But I can tell you what, any better life starts with a good night's sleep.
Yeah,
totally. And so we really, and the irony that I could only design 2 fragrances, one was sleep and the other was focus. I then enlisted a genius to help me get the others over the line because I didn't need them. Right. I just needed sleep and focus. That's the way I was at that point.
Yeah.
I now, frankly, need love inserted because menopause is tough, and the patchouli and the rose and the combination, lang lang, I think it's disgusting, but the combination in our blend is helping me.
So did you come up with the concept first and then look for the market?
No.
Or did you
I wanted to bring niche.
Yeah.
Right. I can't be asked. I haven't got time. I'm not going to blend aromatherapy oils, but I could see the value. How did I make them portable? How did I stop salons buying these pointless oils that sat on the shelf and got dust, as opposed to giving somebody uplift? How could I commercialize health and happiness in a pocket rocket made well that allows somebody to immediately get an impact? These are strong, right? They are premium products. I've seen balms now coming to market because we're doing very nicely, thank you very much, but, that are lesser and they won't work, right? But I have a premium product because my flipping essential oils are getting more expensive. Manufacturing's difficult, but we've put them into gift sets so that the press pause one up here is, a 20-minute candle burn, because I am hopeless at stopping. I'm trying to learn bloody meditation. So actually, if I have a 20-minute slot and I can manage to close my eyes and just be without anything, that improves my mindset. The puzzles that we make are called change of pace, because we've got hotels buying puzzles of their building so that you welcome the guests into the space, and they've also got something to take away, and it's sustainably made in a tin. It's easy to travel, only because the tin thing comes from when I was selling soaps for a living, and we made them in tins, and I've still got the same name card holder.
But you know what, as well, I think, when you said earlier on about juicy fruit, it automatically takes you back there.
And I'm tasting it.
Yeah. And then, when we got in the little jigsaw puzzles, and what we've been doing is putting it on out where the clients sit.
Irresistible.
Yeah, making part of it up and then leaving the other pieces.
Yeah, you are in Britain, though. We are puzzle fans, but so are America.
But someone automatically will start and make it, and then they are so chuffed that they've got to the end and they're like, I've done it, because they think that someone's only made it that far, that we haven't taken it all apart again.
But it's also human nature, right?
Yeah.
And the calming effect. I find it really interesting. Before we brought the puzzle, I made it to market. I made it 29 times. I even made it upside down, as in turned the pieces without the colours and the pictures. And my husband and I have even raced to make it because we're childish, but yet it's meant to be a calming thing. But actually it's whatever you need it to be.
Yeah. And
I have literally taken it out on a frustrating day and gone, just give yourself a break, right?
It's that switch off, isn't it?
And sometimes you just need an uplift, right? So the best product I think we've recently brought is a set of, actually I'll have them in my pocket.
Affirmation cards.
Yeah, so you've got these affirmation cards, right? And there you go. You can pick pink or purple or blue or green, depending on your mood. And there's the happy card. and because I'm flipping old and grey, randomly, the more you focus on the good, the more good you see.
Yeah.
And there's nobody except one 29-year-old slightly drunk boy who didn't get it, where I've done this sort of pick a card, any card to brighten your day. That moment of gratitude, that is a free exchange.
Yes.
Right? Now, that achieves everything and more in my day.
With affirmation cards as well, though, I absolutely love the fact that you always pick a card that is right.
How's that?
Yeah.
Well, that's because my clever marketing department are really clever. And it's AI generated as well. And it's just using all the full tools and the facets of great people that we employ. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. So these products now, how far and wide are they? I mean, obviously, as a salon clinic owner, we stock them.
Yeah, thank you.
And clients absolutely love them. I think it's getting the concept over to someone.
Yeah.
Obviously,
and demonstrating, but also I think. So I don't know if you can relate to this, but when you need to buy a present for someone, right? And so you've got a girlfriend that's got an important present, or you're going to a dinner party. I wanted to make thoughtful gifting entirely affordable. So everything we do is like $30, or if you like, £30 or $40.
Cards,
they're only £12.50. Yeah, it's ridiculously low, so I can't make any money out of them.
With a balm,
right?
With a set of affirmation
butch
cards.
glass, and actually we're developing it to have a little card holder. So we're always looking for ideas to make the product better.
Lovely.
But the balms, which are made in England, are expensive to blend, and we're trying to bring this evolution of. So we're going to hopefully bring a fidget solution because there's too much anxiety in the world. And we've just launched a sleep set with a silk mask, because that deals with the number one problem that most people have, which is sleep. So all of the tins are very thoughtfully created by my brilliant team. And, the answer to the question is there, touch wood, about to be also available in Saudi Arabia and the Middle East. We have online Amazon in Australia growing nicely.
Amazing.
USA got up to a phenomenal run rate during COVID, and we're now looking for retail salon partners. And the answer is we don't want to be in traditional retail, because I'm trying to get a replacement for some of the rubbish that we sell at the register in the till point by putting a Feel Great tin, which we're due to launch in the States, in every area where someone is just feeling that they may know someone, or they're feeling themselves that they need a touch of self-care. And actually there are 30 applications, and I'm seeing, frankly, sweetie, sugary, useless gummies that don't really do anything. And ultimately, I saw one the other day, it really annoyed me. It was like $12, and it was in Austin, Texas. And there were six mini chews. And I'm like, that's ridiculous, right? For $12. I want to do something that's affordable, accessible wellness to everybody, so that somebody who needs a touch of kindness can afford it.
Yeah. But again, going back to the thing, it's like it's association, isn't it? With something like gummies, they're gone. Yeah. Whereas with something like this, it associates you back to when you bought it, or or who gave you it. Yep. All of those, it's again going back to the memories and the feel good factor. Hope
we had a lady,
when someone's feeling down, they can instantly pick themselves back up.
I spoke to a lady 4 weeks ago who said I'd saved her life.
Really?
Yeah. And I booked a call with her on a Saturday morning because I wanted to feel I could give it really quality, concentrated time. But that is an honourable thing.
Yeah. I mean, I've never known
a touch of kindness.
Yeah.
Right. When someone is down.
Doesn't cost anything, or costs low.
Or cost. And therefore, you don't need to buy my product, right? Just give somebody a smile. Ask if they're really okay. Show genuine interest. Take real time to care. Call your mum. Call your dad. What's it going to cost you? Time is the most valuable commodity And that's why we have change of pace or press pause, because we want you to value and accept that not everything goes right, because that's not life, right? My mum and dad used to always say, you know, you're just having a bad day, right? It's not, this isn't a perfect world, is it? I mean, look at how lucky we are in the first world. So, you know, we do corporate gifting now where you can genuinely give a customized, thoughtful, mindful well-being gift. And we then obviously want people to trade up or buy the discovery box, because you get, I mean, we've just got hopefully an estate agent taking someone on a journey that, you know, you sign up to sell your house, so you get a touch of happy, then you get a focus. I need to think about my packing list. We're going to take the de-stress out of the sale, so don't worry about that. Just a moment of calm will give you an update. And then where's your balance? Well, you know, you should be starting to look for a house, or somewhere to live. Have you got that balance? And then, of course, you move on and you go, okay, I've escaped all the hassle of this nightmare. I need a good night's sleep. I moved into my new house. I'm in a happy place. And we're having a giggle, but that is an intended well-being piece. Warren Buffett went into a room and said to a bunch of students, and this was very meaningful to me, it's on Instagram. He said, I'm going to give you all a new car. And they went, wow. So Warren Buffett's going to give all these kids in a class. And he says, but we're going to have a think about it, because it's going to be your last car. It's going to be the one and only. You can have anything you like. You can have Rolls-Royce seat linings. You can have the greatest engine. You can have a flip top. You know, you can have all the assets, bells and whistles, beautiful car. But I want to talk about how we're going to look after this car. And they're like, oh, we're going to get the engine serviced, and we're going to shine the wheels, and we're going to clean it every Saturday. And I'm like, so, and he said, so you've got one engine. Right, your human frame, your body is your engine. How well do you look after your engine? What are you putting into it? Susan, how many coffees have you drunk this morning? I am going to call you out, right?
Yeah.
And so
I'm on third.
Right. And I'm not allowed more than 2 a day, right?
Yeah.
And not after 11, because and I'm probably being a bit preachy, but my point is Warren Buffett and those things, that behavioral value your mind. And by the way, I'm not going to the gym unless my mind says pack my gym bag. So I need my mind before I need my body. And that's why, with our experience at home, with our determination to give kids a reality check around you can, it's mindset, confidence. You know, women, oh my God, stop saying I don't have the confidence to. Fly by the seat of whatever knickers you're wearing and have a go. Because the worst thing that can happen is you had a go and it didn't work.
Yeah.
No, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying earlier, you know, I speak to a lot of female entrepreneurs, and the hardest thing is finding out what they want, what they truly want. Not what they think they should.
But they don't even give themselves time to go, what matters to me?
No.
And by the way, there's a friend of mine in a business group.
Yeah.
It's not, but
employees come before, family come before.
Everything comes before, but actually there's this a friend of mine who has been very lucky. We call him Lucky Sperm. So what does he know? Because he got given the money. But he does fully respect that if mama ain't happy, nobody's happy.
Yeah.
And it's an African saying, I believe. I don't know where it comes from. Apologies. But it's true, right? If you're not looking after your health, and by the way, there's an even better saying, which I live by, which is when you have your health, you have 100 worries. When you don't have your health, you have 1 worry. Right? You think about that. Because actually, if you haven't got it together, the only thing you're concerned about is getting better.
Yeah.
Right. When you're good and you're looking after your engine, then you've got opportunities all around you. And of course, some of them will be good and some of them will be indifferent and some of them will be really shit. But then at least you've got the mindset to make a good choice. And all of Scentred is built around experiences where I've been at events or I've understood a learning and I'm trying to back it with scientific, evidential-based impact that says, you can make a British person smile by saying, what do you think of when you say fresh cut grass? And they think of a summer's day. Because the only time we mow our lawns is when the sun is shining. And it's those.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
it's relatable experience. It's routine. And I believe in discipline because I'd like to think that you learn skills that you transfer into life from a sports pitch. And all of these wellness things, people will say, I know you work hard, but you how do you have that drive? And I'm like, because I've decided to, because I want to, because I've got a plan. And these women that put themselves 19th are not getting the best out of their lives. Everybody else is getting the best out of them. And then this bloody thing about learn to say no. For Christ's sake, give yourself a break. Blame me. Just say no. Lara said so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who's Lara? Who cares? Just say no.
Yeah.
Right? Because no buys you time.
Yeah. I know this is the thing. It's like, but I think we're just in this world of like instant gratification, instant everything, isn't it now?
Instant. We must have every white good in the universe. I need an ice cream maker for what? It's nonsense.
Yeah,
right? I've been living
impulsive.
as a digital nomad, and Charlie and I have gone from 2 big bags to 1 bag in the back of a Jeep in America with 2 bikes. And if the sun shines, we bike ride, right? It's simple. Yes. And aren't I lucky that I can afford to do that?
And just on that, I mean, I can always remember, I've listened to loads of things on YouTube. Love Wayne Dyer, and I can always remember he gave away all of his possessions and just went very minimalistic, and that's when his
whole life changed.
Yeah, obviously you had a mansion full of things. How did you do that? How did you go from that?
Well, we're very lucky because we'd lent some land to the local farmer. He has lent to me 2 large containers into which my life's belongings I have fitted, and my mother's house, whose attic is bursting at the seams with stuff. My children aren't very keen on me.
You don't need this stuff.
But that's the point, right? And so literally we have clear boxes with clothes in it, which are called winter and summer. It's not rocket science, this stuff. And we rotate, and our clothes, Charlie and I were laughing in Hong Kong last weekend because our clothes are ragged. So I bought you a new shirt today. Because I thought of this interview and I thought, oh God, I haven't got anything to wear. And genuinely, when I went to an event in Chicago earlier this year, I had to buy a dress. I didn't have a business dress with me. So aren't I lucky that I can afford that? But I can afford it because I don't waste money on stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And I wonder, if people looked at stuff and went, do I really need it? Like I say to them with the kit bricks business we own, do you really need another bag? And I'm like the antichrist of sales. And I say, look, until you need another bag, don't buy another bag. But when you buy another bag, buy a bag that really lasts. And Kit Bricks has a range of products with a waterproof base because I believe we should buy stuff that lasts. And it has, ironically, we have this dilemma sustainably because the fabric is robust and you can wipe it. So we see ambulance service and emergency services because they're working in hostile and sometimes dirty and even bloody environments, right? So they need to be able to take pathogens off. But equally, we didn't know that until we developed it and somebody found their use for our bag. But also we built it so that kids can enjoy sports and parents can save time cleaning up because I don't want to run around cleaning up for people. So you design a better product that lasts longer, ironically shooting yourself in the foot because it's bloody annoying selling people the next bag because they last too long. So I have to find a bigger audience. And I'm laughing at myself going, duh, you should have known that. But in the same way, we've evolved an investment from a company we used to have shares into a better product with Parker because we could see the product could be so much better and more versatile.
Yeah.
And instead of having long sleeve, short sleeve, have versatile sleeves that you can slip off. Right?
Yeah.
Have a pocket in the back that turns it into a stadium seat because I think it's funny and it's actually bloody useful.
That's an idea.
Have literally, and the coolest thing is you can pull your arm back inside the long sleeve and I've built a little glove inside it so I don't, because I never remember to take my gloves or they lose.
Yeah.
So because when I'm standing on the sideline watching the kids play sports, I don't want to freeze my arse off or my hands.
So they've got gloves already.
Inside the thing.
That reminds you of being a kid when you had like the string going.
Right, so all it is building in a pain point, which every entrepreneur, if you can discover the pain point or the need, and there's an actual need, and sometimes you're before your time, but, like we're developing a movement mat. Okay. I am not going to call it yoga. because actually yoga puts people off.
Yeah.
But actually, I'm shit at yoga, and yet I stretch, and my body feels good when I stretch. So why not have a stretch mat that everybody can use? And by the way, that came from when I was a child. I used to walk through a playground in Hong Kong on the way to school, and the old ladies did Tai Chi.
Mm-hmm.
Tai Chi's on the rise again.
Yeah.
And I'm delighted, because actually your core, and so the growth of that company will come from trying to save the bloody bill of the NHS, because 27%, I understand, and that number may be wrong, but it was given to me as a broad number of the NHS's bill is 20% coming from falls and unnecessary accidents, because we do not look after this core band of our strength, which allows us to stay balanced.
Yeah.
Imagine if I could invent a product that people bothered to do a bit of application because they've got this one engine.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, they don't want to be in hospital catching the latest version of the flu that I had last week, which is appalling.
Corridor.
Imagine. Yeah, exactly. Because you're not going to get a bed. You're going to sleep in the corridor in our country, unless you're going to pay through the nose, which not everybody can afford and isn't right. So I want to invent product that, and that's why we invest in the portfolio, in product and invention that changes lives, improves lives.
So just going back onto like a slightly more entrepreneurial thing on this. I know this is going to be more about wellness, but so you're now, obviously you've downsized personally.
Yep. Simplified, let's
Simplified, yes.
Homeless.
Oh, I love it though.
Yeah.
I mean,
what
it's
a
just
privilege.
Always an adventure though, isn't
Yeah.
it? And that's what life should be. So obviously there's that side. We've spoken about where it's more about experiences than having physical things now.
Yeah.
When you invest in companies, obviously the money side is important.
Critical.
Is that where your focus goes, or does the money naturally come because you've got the right brand?
Great question. I've never, ever had the mindset that I was building a company to make money. I've built a company because I'm trying to improve something, find a solution to a known pain point. Excuse me. And that's, I believe the money follows if the idea is good enough and if the energy, passion, resilience, persistence, determination, authenticity are behind that idea. And by the way, if you don't go out and ask your friends if you think it's a good idea, because that's a dumb idea, because they're going to tell you something that you want to hear, you've got to go and speak to strangers.
Yeah. Yeah, this is it. Market research is like...
But strangers, not people who are going to stroke your ego. That is bullshit.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. That's really, really interesting, because I think so many people set businesses off with the end goal of making money.
It's not, it
and
has
I also
to be.
think, if do what you love.
And then the rest follows. And why are you sticking to doing what you're doing? Right?
Because I love it.
Right. So, beauty business, you know that I'm somewhat unhinged and biased, because I genuinely believe the beauty business saved my life. When I was feeling like chewed string as a mum of 3 kids under the age of 6 and running a global enterprise, when I say this, I laugh. Is this really me? And I go, but getting my hair done, to have the confidence to go to the city to sell my company was probably the difference between success and failure. Yeah. You made me feel and look good. And sometimes I think the beauty business forgets that it isn't necessarily all about the model or the makeup but just getting your hair done and having a moment to think and gather yourself. That was priceless to me. It's still priceless to me. I still treat it as my treat. I know that the odd massage made me go, I can, not I can't. I'll bounce back. Maybe you didn't get the deal you wanted to, so get your legs waxed. I genuinely, mean that. Because small interventions like my mother's lipstick actually should have made her heart sing, and she just didn't have a great day that day, and it didn't go right, and it wasn't the lipstick's fault, right? But I also believe in needs must, and you should cut your coat according to your cloth and look after the pennies, and the pounds will look after themselves, and bootstrap the shit out of what you've got, because the last thing you should do is sell your equity. Equity you don't get back. You've got 100% of shares.
Yeah.
So the harder you work to retain those shares as you build and grow, the more you deserve the output. I'm fed up of seeing women sell early their shares because somebody says they need this and they need that. They don't. They need to believe in themselves and start saying no.
Again, though, it's that gut instinct, isn't it? And I think sometimes it's like, and I do think it is predominantly female,
I know
isn't
it is.
That
as now, being on the other side of the table and being rare as rocking horse shit, forgive me, but there's only 2% of money goes into females. That makes me rare because I'm one of the females that invest in companies in general. That annoys me. But let's not blame the boys because it's not their fault they got there first. We just need to balance up the playground, but we're not going to balance up the playground by talking to each other and by procrastinating and by not getting to a level playing field, by turning up to the playing field and asking for what we're due in a professional, planned way. Duh. And I'm like, I say it and I go, yes, Lara, you fly by the seat of your pants. Yes, Lara, you might have told the odd white distinction of I had a warehouse in somewhere, but I didn't really, but I knew there was one. But actually, I didn't do anyone any harm. I delivered on my promise. And I never overpromised and underdelivered. So, what's the worst thing that can happen? Have a go.
Yeah, but I think, again, it's back to, it feels like sometimes that someone thinks that they need to give themselves permission to put themselves out there rather than just sit back or...
But aren't I lucky, right? Aren't you lucky? That was something in your upbringing.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a parent or a, godparent or a someone.
Well, for me, it was, my dad was the entrepreneur. He was the one that and in fact, my first business, I didn't even tell him I'd started it because he never thought there was going to be any money in the beauty industry and wanted me to go and do something totally different.
My dad told me to go and get a job in the beauty industry because he thought I was going to be useless at everything else.
Oh, and
literally. What an and parents do that.
Probably my dad was the same, to be honest. And I mean, now it's like one of the biggest industries out there. And
it is saving lives and improving lives and should be respected more than it was during COVID.
Yeah, but with my dad, he was, as I say, always the one that I always had this vision of showing him how great my business was. And very sadly, he had a cerebral hemorrhage and just passed away instantly at 50.
Wow.
And so I never got to do that. And
yeah, but he knows. He's somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I watched a thing the other day that said, it was on Instagram, this girl had booked a seat next door to her for her dad.
Yeah, I love that.
Right, and her dad had been there, had died not that long ago, but she knew he'd enjoy the show.
Yeah.
And so the comedian was brilliant. And he said, hey, look, you don't need to do that because I'm telling you now.
Oh, I believe that
brilliant,
he's still around.
Right? Yeah, same.
But my mum was always the one like that, I could do anything. And she would be, that's brilliant, Susan. So I had my dad to impress, but my mum was just like,
I was desperate for my dad's approval. Why was I desperate for my dad's approval?
I know. That was
when I reflect, it was my mum who was hugely inspirational. But, we all have our flavours. Some don't have mums and dads. That's tough, right? And in the same way that my daughter gave me a hug yesterday because I frankly spent some time trying to do parental reasoning, let's call it. But I've learned to do it better than I would have charged in the old days. And, I feel I have better time and better skills these days to approach these. And she gave me a hug and she said, I don't know how you do what you do. And I think, I just do the best that I can do, Katie. It's all you can do.
Yeah.
And if I can instill that and they lead full lives, they will lead an interesting life. And actually, like I said, I think in the previous interview, the only thing you're going to be remembered for is the mother or parent you are. Everything else goes by the wayside. Yeah. Do I want my kids to do good to the world and put back? Yes, I do. So I have to lead by example.
Yeah, because I haven't got a family,
and I know,
and it's like for me, it's always been slightly different, like sort of, because, and now I haven't got my parents. So like, it's like,
yes, but you're
your own
you
driver
can.
kind
And of course, people will say, and I know you mentioned it, there was in another podcast, you do it for the team around you. Well, I do. They are like family. But there always has to be a dividing line, right?
Totally.
You're the one that's leading. And by the way, you're the one that's carrying the burden of success or profit, because we are measured by profit. It's financially true. And, when I reflect now, I am in a privileged position where I'm building businesses with money that I've previously made, as opposed to having to make it to build the business. But I also know that strategically, if you don't have a brand today, you have nothing, because there is a race to the bottom where we can access everything globally very cheaply. It might be shit and it might be disgracefully disintegrating in your hands after one use. And that I find very sad for the climate and the environment and the future of humanity. So I gravitate towards creating brands. But I will say that, who am I to judge? This is just my way. I wish people would buy sustainably. I wish they would make product recommendations based on quality of performance. And I think it's better to invest, as my grandmother used to say, in a quality pair of shoes, because then I can tell the cut of your jib. And those things have underpinned how I hope to behave and how I hope to offer a product that is better than an average, always.
Are your children entrepreneurial then?
Yeah, one will sell her grandmother before she starves. So, and probably I would have as well. I had a great grandmother advisor, as I mentioned in the earlier interview. Strategic advisor, age 93, go and sell to the Dorchester, the best hotel in the world.
It's the best
and
bit
we
of
never
advice.
looked back, right? So who's the best customer somebody else could sell to? Katie, the eldest, is currently thinking about setting up her first venture. The middle one would loathe me to think of her as an entrepreneur, but she's a professional artist. She's running her own company already.
Amazing.
Right, and she is pretty cool. She's just done her first art show this year and sold 9 out of 13.
Wow.
Yeah, Natasha Morgan Art. And I should give her a name check, because I can no longer afford her pictures, I think. Great. But they're also bloody big, so we need big houses. And she needs to start to do them smaller.
You're not going to get it, didn't you?
Yeah, drives me nuts. And then Tamsin is selling property in Dubai, independent 21-year-old who's making her own way. And I'm deeply proud of them all.
Amazing, yeah.
But like you, right, whilst they're my close family, I will tell you that my employees mean everything to me. And I've been unpaid for a long time because I put my employees first, and COVID ravaged us. I went in with a hotel, a spa supply, a luggage supply, travel stopped, hotel stopped, spa stopped. Yeah. Bloody hell, that's not fair. But without that team, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah. Yeah. And did you keep the team?
Oh, yeah, as much as, but you have to make good commercial decisions. I mean, the team is completely trusted. They work from home. I've got a lot of part-time women because I believe in that. Because I believe I get more and better. I'm, commercially, that's my opinion. It's sometimes infuriating that I can't ring them because they're not working at that hour. They're picking up the kids. But it's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
Because you get better.
Yeah.
And yeah, the team have consistently been with us, and we're laughing our way through life. And I think emerging to do, and we are already doing and making significant healthy impact through product that is more purposeful and more well-intended than selling bars of soap like I used to do.
And I would imagine they have equal passion to you.
They're an unbelievable group. But together we carry boxes, we put up tents, we strive and work sometimes. But I am very disciplined about trying to respect people's times, and we have a family first attitude. Everybody knows when I recruit, I say to them, and when they come in for the first day, they spend their first hour with me, which I think is a really powerful hour. I tell them the rules of the game. If you don't ask, you don't get. It's a constant learning. The only constant is change. So you better step up, because otherwise you will step out.
Yeah.
I want to see you grow and learn. Yeah. Right. But it's, and then it's, don't steal from me, because I learned at a speech at a hotel show that if the security guard told the staff in a hotel not to steal, stealing went down by 96%. So I'm like, you can ask me for anything and I'll give it to you. But I'm going to tell you face to face, don't steal from me, and people won't steal from you. How cool is that? So I use that. And then I use, if you look after the pennies, the pounds look after themselves, and that's in your interest because I'll share it back with you. That's bonus.
Yeah.
You're not bored of these yet? I mean, they are. Okay, so I want you to treat my things as your things.
Yeah.
Anything that I have, I will share.
Yeah.
But I expect you to perform in return. So there's a deep expectation for you to be an A-grade player.
Yeah. Oh my God, these are all gems.
But literally, no idea is a bad idea. Because, we can, I mean, there's used to be things, what was it called? A brainstorm, and then they called it a shower or something. And I'm laughing because a rain, whatever it is. But the truth is that that's a good brainstorm, is when every idea hits the table.
Yeah. And there's sometimes things that you don't see.
Oh, and not sometimes.
And a team
all the time.
See.
Yeah. I was in China recently, and, the girls are playing with a product that we're doing for Christmas. And I'm like, I would never have thought to do it that way. You are a genius. I love you. Right. And
Yeah, but then they're just as tall as anything.
Well, hopefully.
And just like.
Yeah, and quite rightly.
That's the thing that gets missed out. People don't say thank you enough.
Which is free.
Yeah.
Right. And by the way, not everybody wants public thank you. That's a mistake I used to make. I remember Sandra once came to me and said, I don't want flowers. And I was like, she said, I'm allergic to them. And I kept giving everybody flowers because I like flowers. What an idiot am I? I said, do you want gin and tonic? And do you want gin? And Mandy got a bottle of gin and a straw because the whole company knew that Mandy kept me afloat. And we've always laughed about it because Mandy drank gin, but I thought it was funny putting a straw. And it's like, so you're going to need it in a lot because you're still working with me. But, I let go of Mandy at one stage because we couldn't afford her during September the 11th. When September the 11th happened, I had to let go of 222 people out of 546. Right?
Yeah, that's
my
tough.
EA was the last scored person on the cutoff line, but she was on the wrong side of the line. Yeah. She then rejoined us, which is something that makes me very proud, and has recently retired. But that's a hell of an honour when someone trusts you, that you've let them go and you've recruited them back. Penny Ferguson gave me, God, it still makes me laugh. She gave me 1.5 years notice that she was going to resign because in our role reviews, we used to encourage people to do whatever they really wanted to. This is you talking about women. Penny went home and said, I really want to be a foster parent, right? And so together we worked towards her having the skills, the time and the calibre to follow her passion. And she gave me 18 months notice. You just think, are you nuts? How special is that those people give you the payback because you've put in?
Yeah. But it's give and take, isn't it? It's that relationship that you build. Yeah.
And small things like, Carol Ann in accounts had in those days, we had type boards that were attached to a computer, but Carol Ann was the accountant, and she would always leave her pencil exactly middle of her typing board at the end of the day. And so she knew that I would inevitably push it left or push it right if I was leaving after her to send her a message of I've been here. But it was me noticing her. Mm-hmm. And she and I conjured up these lists of, how we rewarded people. And so we knew their favourite chocolate bar, we knew their favourite magazine, we knew their favourite restaurant, we knew the name of their spouse, we knew.
But then somebody's not just a person.
Right. And so, not everybody loves Maltesers the way I could hog them, right? Not everybody enjoys flowers like Sandra.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I made all of those mistakes initially, right? And there's a book called, it's probably 1,500 ideas of how to maximize employee engagement, or it's something, I think it was originally called 500 Ways to Get the Most Out of Your Staff. But I mean, it's something, but I would never want to steal the exact idea. I'd read the idea and then I'd go, okay, what could we do to make it better? So one year I bought 38 long stem red roses, laughably, bearing in mind partly Scottish, and the pens and the pennies, and I bought them the day after Valentine's because they were cheaper and I knew they'd be discounted. I'm that mean. But I wrote a personal little red card and put it in a single vase on every people's desk saying somebody loves you. and they still talk about it, right?
Yeah.
In the same way that I used to send customers empty chocolate box and saying, I sent somebody treacle, which is like a golden syrup.
Yeah, yeah.
But I sent them a metal tin of treacle and said, getting a hold of you is like running through this. Try it. And her name's Jane Brightwell, and she did ring me, thankfully. So I sold her some product for hotels. But that's the old-fashioned way of marketing and being human.
And I think that's back. It's
hopefully
things that are memorable.
We're literally designing a direct mail, like literally a direct mail, like a physical postal thing.
Yeah. Because nobody gets anything direct mail, and handwritten's even better.
My granny, my mother-in-law does. There's piles of it. It's absolute rubbish. But
it's like Christmas cards, birthday cards.
Yeah.
People don't do it now. Once
Which
you
is
used to have
really
like this pile of cards that you were going to send to people that you'd never seen for ages and ages. And
you used to have to sit down on a month out of Christmas and waste a whole afternoon. But actually, I loved it. My mother used to do it because when they were in Hong Kong, she stayed in touch with everyone in Britain through the Christmas card system. Yeah. So when they got back, they still had a friends network. Yeah. Right. So actually, what do you do to stay in touch with your customer? One of my girlfriends does this. I used to be involved in it. She's a genius sales trainer, Nicola Cook. She runs Company Shortcuts. And she sends people big pants, big underwear.
Yeah.
Not pants as in long trousers, America, but think big knickers or big underwear. And she just says, put your big pants on, because actually sometimes we need to be a bit braver. Mm-hmm. By the way, Nicola's got a great book on learning to sell. And I have obviously, given it a reference. But I mean, it's these little things.
What's Nicola's book?
Oh, God, she's going to kill me. I think it's Sales Success.
Yeah, she's got a few.
You can find it on Amazon, I'm
sure.
sure.
For years. She's
brilliant.
She's amazing.
So it's, and little things like that. Hopefully go a long way to making someone else successful or to feel a bit special.
Yeah, but that's going
cost
back
me
to
nothing.
To
cost me nothing. Cost you nothing.
Yeah.
Help someone else.
Yeah, it is. It's
gratitude.
It's making someone feel that they're not just one of the other billions out there.
Nobody has nothing to offer, right? My godmother used to say, she was frightfully posh and had racehorses, but she employed everybody in the borders of Scotland, and I used to go there at boarding school, including Danny the dustbinman, who I could barely understand with his broad Scottish accent. But I had great conversations with Danny, and I learned how to do different kind of knots, and I learned how to do all sorts of things around the farm that Julia had, because Danny was generous enough to deal with this pathetic 14-year-old who was bored.
Yeah, but he would love it because
and we loved it. But that's we barely had a language between us, and he spoke English, allegedly Scottish, I think. But do you know what I mean? And so from life, I know that we had a taxi driver who picked us up from the airport the other day, who was from Afghanistan, and his name was Ishmael. And of course, I showed an interest, and back. But the reason he engaged is when he was putting my bike in the back of the car, I used my Patagonia jacket to stop the wheels on the bike box from damaging his car. And he said to me, nobody does that. But I've got a new friend, right? And I might be cycling through Afghanistan one day, right? So exactly. I am a manipulative bitch, really, and I might need him. So it's not, I do believe you give and you get.
Exactly. Totally.
No, I hope that's helpful.
Oh, yeah. Right. One last thing. I mean, now we are in this world where, we were saying earlier on, we were so fortunate, that like we didn't have the pressure of social media and everything else around us when we were teenagers.
Free to think, free to experiment, free to play.
Now everyone... It's such, I mean, we're all wrapped up in it now, like this fast-paced life kind of thing.
Chat GPT, eat your heart out.
Yeah, exactly. What's the one golden nugget you would give to someone? I mean, I know you travel the world and things.
Compartmentalise. Be disciplined with your diary time. Plan time in, plan time on, time out. So there's time in the business where I need to be engaging with customers, engaging with my team, on your business, planning the strategy, giving myself space to hopefully make better decisions. And then time out, recovery, better mindset, clearer thinking. That's kind of the color code. So if you want to really simplify it, and of course I simplify everything because I'm, not the brightest cookie, red, amber, green.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The traffic light system. Everybody knows a traffic light. And the amber area, you veer into the area that might be about to go tits up, but actually it could be the golden nugget. And you won't know if you don't step back and have a look. Yeah. So, the classic of every business is you've got to rise. You've got to rise, and you can only rise if you delegate. Make time for others. Treat delegation as, and it's not about just making the coffee and sweeping the floor, but it's about giving the chance. This is how I see it. Give the chance to somebody else to grow, to have an opportunity, to have a new experience. They might stuff it up. 9 times out of 10, they tend to do it better, but differently to the way I would have done it. And that is the best learning. But until you trust and you give others the chance to grow, you have nothing, because you're a one-man band and you are living in a very precarious place. But there are characters who seem not to be able to get over that, and you can't invest in them because they're never going to grow. Yeah,
definitely. I mean,
what's the worst thing that can happen? Give it a go.
Yeah, I love when someone steps up and shines.
I'll do it.
Love it.
Oh my God, teams that I'll do it. Oh yes, I love you.
Yeah, I know. When I've been away from my business, same as you, that's when they do. When they step up and grow.
Shouldn't we all go on holiday more often and let them run the place?
I can always remember when I very first stepped out of the business and the turnover went up.
Hello.
And they're all like, it's because we're like organising. And I was like, no, it's because it's getting managed better from afar. Like we just used to
talk about it. Because you want to own it, right?
But, because I'd like stepped out.
Yeah.
They then could just like step up and,
you gave them space to breathe.
And
right?
20 years later, they're still doing that.
Which is huge congratulations. It's very special to have that loyalty of team, but you earned it.
Oh,
right? Don't forget you earned it.
Yeah, that's why we love entrepreneurship, isn't it?
It is.
Lara, thank you so much. This has been absolutely awesome. And I know we said in the earlier one how someone could sort of learn more about you, but it's mainly from your website, isn't it? LaraMorgan.com.
Yeah. And I mean, genuinely, we've got a code which is, what did my team call it? BDC, Beauty Directors Club, because you have your other part of your organisation. Yeah. But if you apply BDC and 20, maybe 30 even, but try 30 always first. But you'll get a discount across any of my products on the sites. So go to the brands, look at laramorgan.co.uk, which I must refresh, as I said earlier.
Yeah,
I must do that.
And it's Scentred.com, isn't it?
Yeah. And kitbricks.com. And Parker is spelled Parcca.
I haven't looked at that company yet, so I'm going to have a look.
But it's only available in America, Parker.
I might have to go just for a trip, just to have a look.
Thank you.
A good excuse.
I'll send you one. Yeah.
Thank you, Lara. Awesome as always.
Thank you very much.